And at the end of the day, we had two. We had Graham Sharp, the one he scored for Everton against Liverpool, and we had Mark Hughes scoring that brilliant volley for Wales against Spain.
Stevens looking for Sharp, and he got behind Lawrence, and there did Sharp! What a fantastic goal!
Nicholas is going to take it. James making a near-post run. And maybe a chance here. Brilliant! It was Hughes. Who else would get a goal like that?
Terrific, weren't they? But then, out of time, as it were, we had that goal that won the cup final, really. Norman Whiteside, you've seen it a few times. I'm sure you won't mind seeing it once more, even if it doesn't include Tony Gubber. So let's have a look at the goal that was scored and could have been many people's goal of the season, except that it was out of time.
Still, Manchester United playing with great pluck and intelligence, get the ball out, and they've made their own openings already in extra time, and this fellow Hughes is coming into it more and more, and here's Whiteside. Strachan is following up, Olsen on this side, that's all he's got. Whiteside shoots, it's there! Norman Whiteside has done it again!
Well, stuck with that problem, we decided a course of action which I hope will get your blessing. We thought this season we'd make them joint winners and that we'd send the 300 guineas or premium bonds to the Bradford City Disaster Fund. But more than that, we would have the silver salver made with those three names on it and make an appropriate chance, or take an appropriate chance really, to auction that off for that Bradford City Disaster Fund. So there are triple winners, and I hope you approve of that, and I'm quite sure that the players concerned would. Bob?
Jim, I'm sure all the players would agree with that because the appeal is such a worthy one. I think it's now time to take a look at the lads who are actually appearing in the big game today, and we'll do that right now.
Now we join our match commentator at Hampden, Archie McPherson.
Well, what a charming picture there of that lassie in the pipe band, in a scene that's rather dismal, unfortunately. The weather very disappointing, and there is the trophy they're playing for today, the Sir Stanley Rous Trophy. Sir Stanley, 90 years of age, and we're going through the Scottish team. Richard Gough, his father is here to see him play this afternoon, as he was for the cup final last week. Maurice Malpas. Malpas having played only once before for Scotland in Marseille. Roy Aitken, who we feel will be central defender today, and forming with Alec McLeish, and the next picture we might see, yes, Willie Miller, a defence in which I'm sure there will be a sweeper system operated. Gordon Strachan with 29 caps and delighted to get his first run in a year in the team from the start. Graeme Souness, who I'm sure is determined to make up to the Scottish supporters for his last performance. Steve Archibald, who did not have a good game in Spain, challenging day for him. Jim Bett, who will be returning to Scotland, in all probability to Aberdeen. And this wee man here, David Speedie, I was talking to him on the pitch about half an hour ago, and he was very uptight, a little bit nervous, but an impressive performance. Peter Shilton, he's only 5 caps away from breaking Gordon Banks' record. Viv Anderson, who's only been in one losing England side, and that was when Scotland won 1-0 at Wembley with a John Robertson penalty. Kenny Sansom, the most capped ever Arsenal player. Glenn Hoddle, the first time Glenn will play at Hampden Park for England. Terry Fenwick, the central defender. Terry Butcher back in the side, the tallest man in the field. He'll be 6'4" no less. And the very charming man, Bryan Robson, who couldn't get a nicer man in the game. His fitness is suspect. Ray Wilkins from Italian football. And there's Mark Hateley. They call him over there the British Bulldog in Italy. And another Italian league player, Trevor Francis. And the man who scored that amazing goal in Brazil, John Barnes, and played outstandingly well for England on the last occasion here. Well, I'm afraid the weather is not matching that. beautiful trophy altogether. There is a pipe band from the Pipe Band Society. Well, the supporters are still arriving, but one begins to doubt if, in fact, we'll have a crowd this afternoon. I'm told that supporters have been giving away tickets by the fistful. And these supporters, alas, not under cover. The rain's still lashing down, and they are going to be in some state by the end of the afternoon. And we await the official party coming out. We've been regally entertained, not just by the pipe bands, but by a bugle band as well, which almost blasted us away from underneath the press box here. Well, the team selection for Scotland has been an enforced one, of course, with David Speedie getting his first cap. I saw Speedie play in Cadiz for the under-21s, and he really was outstanding. He's a very brave player indeed. He's fast, he's tricky, he's small, and he tends to upset big defenders, and the English defenders are very big indeed, very tall. Well, they're still arriving. And last year, of course, when the home internationals came to an end, and Scotland drew 1-1 with England in that match. We actually had a snowstorm, so you could say that the weather is slightly improved. On this game, of course, as I've been saying all week with others, is not nearly as important as the game in Reykjavik. Scotland take on Iceland in the World Cup, but all that is to arrive at Hampden Park. Begin to feel the traditional, I wouldn't call it hostility, but the tension that develops towards a game surrounding the England international side. And they were loudly booed, as they usually are, when they came on the pitch. But one notes that they respond to this by playing very well in Hampden Park, because Scotland haven't beaten England here for 9 years. You might think that that is much too long a wait. The official party, when it comes, will be headed by Sir Stanley Rous. As I said, Sir Stanley, 90 years of age, started off in life as a referee, of course. Renowned and distinguished legislator, not just in English, but in world football. And for many years, he was the dominating figure. Now, patrician and very much a man still respected and still lively at the age of 90. This, of course, is an all-ticket match, and we had trouble at the Celtic end last week when there seemed to be some mix-up in getting into the turnstiles, and the police opened the gates very wisely, allowed the dam to bust, as it were, or else there might have been more injuries. But today it's all-ticket. Been well organised, and as I said, because of the weather, I doubt very much you were going to have anything near that 74,000 number. England are about to set off. There is Stanley Rous now with Bett, Chip and Annie Walker. It still looks a splendid figure. In the background, Dick Ragg, and our own president, David Will, huddling in that tunnel, perhaps a little apprehensive about coming out into the rain. Not quite sure if it's eased off slightly. We've had enough, all right. And by the way, I think it's been pointed out by the others earlier in the day that this won't do the pitch or the game any harm at all. It was very fiery last week. The rain helped it then. And although it was bare and bumpy in certain patches, I think, in fact, it's improved from last Saturday. Well, not at all surprising that we get the odd reference to Bannockburn. And my heart goes out to these supporters. You heard Bob Wilson, I think, earlier on talking about them. We're down at Wembley just now in the car park. I don't know if the weather will be any better there or not. But, you know, when you talk to English people, they are full of admiration for the Scottish supporter. There is no more vociferous support at their best than the Scottish support, and even though they may be very damp by the end of the afternoon, there'll be no abating in the enthusiasm. That is a special schoolboys enclosure down towards that end. Hampden Park in the midst of renovation, of course. Still a long way to go before it reaches the satisfactory state that the SFA are after, with seats and covered enclosures, and it will take many years yet and a lot more money. No Liverpool players in either of today's squads, of course, for very obvious reason, with that important game coming up. And there is Peter Shilton. As I said earlier on, he's only 5 caps away from breaking Gordon Banks' goalkeeping cap record for England. Little nervy dance there by Viv Anderson. Anderson and Sansom, the Arsenal fullbacks. Well, quite explicit. I can tell you what, on these occasions, our people go very poetic. Some of the imaginative slogans. They are some of the lucky supporters, by the way. They are undercover. What's that one? More a cartoon than anything else. Oh well. Can't think of a better caption than that. And in they pour. Knows where he's going, I think. Well, I think the Scottish supporter, of course, has been rather angered by some of the happenings of the past week in connection with this game that's being played tomorrow between Everton and Coventry. So a nudge has been put into this game. Graeme Souness, lucky fellow with that slight tan, he's never without it now, coming from Italy, where he loves it, by the way, loves the lifestyle. Jim Leighton looking slightly tense in the background. The referee today, Michel Vautrot, of course, who refereed the game in Spain. Enough said. Out they come. Shot there of David Speedie. And big Alec McLeish, the last man out. And we'll get the official presentation. For the first time, Scotland and England playing for a trophy. Shot of a very relaxed Bryan Robson. The game, of course, will be played to a finish to this extent that if it is a draw, we'll have a penalty shootout. That would really be something quite unique in the whole history of this competition, which is the oldest in world football. There's Sir Stanley Rouse, Bett with him. Kind of shudder of the Ernie Walker's shoulders there. Doesn't like this weather. And we go into the national anthem. Shot and one of the most famous figures in world football. Now Scotland the brave. the game commence, but not without this introduction that the players have broken away, as a matter of fact. And there is to be an introduction. Just a little bit anxious to get going, and Sir Stanley Rous goes down the line, followed by Bett Millerchip, David Will, David Latham, Scottish League, Dick Ragg, Ernie Walker, and the other secretary, Ted Croker. John Barnes. Well, Trevor Francis, I think some people have felt that he's never realised his true potential. He's a magnificent player, a player of great pace. And under the other end now to the Scottish side, just the referee, Michel Vautrot. An understanding word from a man who was a referee himself. Graeme Souness, Jim Leighton, Roy Aitken, I think will play a very crucial part in this game. He's a very strong player, Roy, as you know. Well, look at the size of that pair there. Maurice Malpas and Gordon Strachan. Diminutive when you think of the English defenders. But that was David Speedie beside Willie Miller. Millerchip. And off they go. And at the end of the afternoon, this gentleman will present his cup to the winning side. Glenn Hoddle plays for the first ever time at Hampden Park for England. Might surprise some because he's been in and out of the English side so often that it was rather overlooked in our statistics, but we gleaned that from him when he was out on the pitch there. He's never been in Hampden before, at least not for England. There's David Speedie. David left Scotland when he was 5 years of age, went down to the north of England, played for Barnsley and Darlington, and then went on to Chelsea. Leading goal scorer there, 16 goals. Talking to Don Revie, the ex-England team manager, at lunch today, and he regards Speedie as very good, and he says one thing you've got to notice about him: he has tremendous ability in the air for such a small man. So we will look for that very carefully. That is the Scottish side. Delighted to see Gordon Strachan get his chance again. The wee man eager to get going, creating a record, of course, by getting 4 Cup winners' medals in a row. Strachan 3 with Aberdeen, and of course last Saturday for Manchester United. That amazing finish at Wembley. Maurice Malpas played only once before, but he's a very good marker, Malpas. I think that's what he'll be today. I don't really fancy him too much in a traditional left-back role. The English side, with only one change from the team that played in Finland, and that change, of course, is Glenn Hoddle. And because of the pre-match entertainment, usually takes a time for the bands to get off the pitch. That's exactly what the referees are waiting for. England are about to play their 600th international, and they've won 357 of these. So it is a notable occasion for them in its own right. You will notice the rather smart outfit, seen in all the best Paris salons, I'm told. It's different. Tell you what, you won't lose sight of them, that's for sure. David Speedie, just that gentle limber up. He's got a lot of experienced players around him, and he's a kind of guy, as I said, I saw him playing Cadiz for the under-21s, and he would go through a brick wall. He's very brave indeed. Graeme Souness, I think, was pained and aggrieved by his own performance in the last international here when they met Wales. Really doubly determined man today to make amends. Not really much of a wind out there today. The rain is coming down, straight down, and very heavy, even yet. I don't mind a game of football. This will be a certain amount of skid on the surface. No question about that. But on the other hand, it will be holding. Passes should be reasonably true, and that surface bumpiness will be rather negated by the wetness. It's getting very damp. Trevor Francis, 47 caps for England, and even yet all my English colleagues feel he hasn't really shown his best form for England. So Steve Archibald and David Speedie together. Scotland about to get the game underway. Rain or no rain, you can hear that Scottish crowd now, as you will throughout the rest of this afternoon. Steve Archibald, number 9, had a very disappointing game in Spain, and off he goes. That touch of the ball by Speedie to Archibald, and we're into this rather unique game for the Stanley Rous Cup. Richard Gough, his father, watching him today, flew in from South Africa last week, and we get the first free kick of the match. Graeme Souness to take this. Well, Bett came across as if he expected a short one. There's McLeish, that's not a bad ball, and I think a bit of pushing. Free kick to England. Well, this referee gave me the impression in Spain he was rather lax in his interpretation of the rules. Really should have stamped his authority in that game, and is giving the impression he's doing exactly that now. A slack-looking one there. Aitken just got away with that. McLeish, Strachan, forced to go deep. McLeish almost caught out, but there's Aitken. Bett glides past his man. That's Bett to Speedie. Then goes Speedie away towards Archibald, a bit of pushing. Gough. Touched there by Robson, now Hoddle. And Bett is in very hard. And Don Reddy, whom I mentioned earlier, says you must not allow Hoddle to settle. If he does, and he turns on the airs and graces, he can really be a very effective player. He's got to be hit hard, often, and as quickly as possible. He certainly didn't mean that. Here's Archibald. Souness. Malpas was square and a little late going for it, but Souness picks it up. Well, Scotland are looking aggressive. That's a free kick. That was just a bit too aggressive. I think Richard Gough there, number 2, it was very unfortunate in Spain to have a very awkward tackle on a Spaniard early on. He was booked, and I think that unsettled him. Oh, talking about being unsettled. That was Trevor Francis, that was. No messing about there by Malpas. No booking, but a gentle reminder of what a tackle ought to be. Just watch him going in here. Almost hear it. Bang. Might have been just a little flourish there by Francis. Looking a little bit concerned about it. Must have got it at the bottom of the shin. Trevor Francis from Sampdoria. Really hurtling down. Trevor Francis made history, of course, by being Britain's first ever £1 million player. time about this. Got the players right in. That's a bad one. Taken there by Fenwick. That almost got through. Hoddle, neatest of touches, and there'll be too much in that. Willie Miller well in control of that situation. Pitching a few yards. Bett. I think we'll be seeing a lot of Bett next season in Scotland. Archibald. He just touched his to the side. Speedie. And flipped back there by Ray Wilkins. No hesitation, under a bit of pressure. Wilkins again. Hateley. Bett. Malpas rather. Ooh, slack. Picked up there by Butcher. That's Francis. Touched in there to Bryan Robson coming forward. That's a shot by Hoddle. Very comfortable and confident looking save that. Bett to Souness. Passing it across the line. Strachan. Aitken safely back. High and mighty one, David Speedie. Look at that leap. That's exactly what Don Revie said he could do. Slightly misjudged it, but he got up very high indeed. Back it goes again. Malpas. Anderson wants to come forward. Hateley. Wilkins. Francis took up position very well. Willie Miller with him. Ooh, that wasn't far away. You know, it was a really great effort there by Francis. An extremely difficult angle. Looked as if Willie Miller had it covered. He managed to get that shot in. There it is. Very good angle here too to see it. Just watch this. Just curling away. Excellent effort. Malpas, Speedie, beautiful little jump again and fouled. Free kick. Jim Bett, Anderson with him, and Hoddle, Speedie, Bett. There's Bett. Oh, the pass wasn't good enough. Souness. There's Bett after it, Anderson just getting there. Robson, oh, that's a bad tackle. Yes, from the back. Continental referees simply do not like that. Free kick. Butcher. Gough. Here's Aitken. Towards Strachan. Oh, Willie Miller decided to come forward, and we'll see that from Miller. He's been doing it for Aberdeen more and more frequently. Strachan. Speedie. Oh, rather slack with that one. Aitken. Well, that's longer than any pass back we've seen. It's about just under 9 minutes of the game gone. Linesman has his flag up. Free kick. England have made a rather canny start to this match. Hateley. Malpas did the right thing, and yes, it's saved. He's had one miscued pass. Nevertheless, he's showing great signs of confidence. Not easy to come into this game at the best of times. Speedie over near that one. John Bett. Here's Anderson. McLeish. And put up there, Francis knew it. Free kick. Oh, getting a song or two out of the crowd. It's been miserable standing out there in the open. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Not content with one, the two of them got him. Free kick. Speedie already bothered this defence, both in the air and on the ground. He's very quick. Strachan there, Speedie to Bett. Strachan on the outside. A little turn, though the cross doesn't match it. Away by Anderson. Souness just got rid of that. Bett. That wasn't very far away from Francis. Now, Gough. Strachan, well picked up. This could be dangerous. Robson going forward. And Malpas, excellent tackle. But in fact, the free kick is given for the initial contact. A free kick to England. We know all about free kicks at that goal, don't we, after last Saturday? Just slightly off a direct line with goal, and the free kick experts actually prefer this kind of angle. Little conference as to what we're going to do with this. Right goes the Scottish line. That's a curled one by Barnes, and it was all wrong from the word go. Barnes, nevertheless, his pace, which we have not yet seen, always threatened Scotland a year ago when he played, and one recalls his brilliant goal in Brazil. Archibald, nice touch. Bett has a little space. Back goes Hoddle with them. There's Speedie. Wants to touch it to the side, and up comes Souness, and it's flipped away. English defence just surviving that. Free kick given against Aitken. Not at all happy about it, but he goes down quickly, and there's Gough. Oh, totally miscued there by Sansom. Oh, Speedie almost picked that one up. Well, Scotland are playing confidently, looking secure at the back, and up front Speedie is always looking dangerous, and Archibald linking with them, not at all badly. Never played with each other before, and they've settled down nicely. Go to England. Butcher. There at the back. No offside. Archibald goes in. And very coolly back there by Butcher. That's McLeish, took his eye off it. Gets away with that. Now Souness. Oh. Drifted that forward beautifully, but Anderson's there. Now Hoddle. Francis. No offside, and out comes Leighton. Hoists it high downfield again. Strachan. A lot of space there. Gough's on the outside. There's the Strachan shot, and he got underneath it. The right kind of intentions, and the right degree of aggression, nevertheless. simply made tracks for that goal, and even though it did cross his mind he might bring Gough into it, decided on that real blast. Richard called for the ball. He hasn't been put under pressure at all by Barnes. Settled down rather well. That's Speedie. Malpas. There goes Malpas. Wilkins covers up very well. Tremendous work rate of these English midfield players, Robson and Wilkins. Speedie. Malpas. Well, that's a great piece of defending, that. Fenwick. There's Willie Miller. Not at all easy with the ball, so greasy to bring it down like that. That's the scoreline with 15 minutes gone. There's Bett, and oh, that's a dreadful one. I don't think that was a pass. But a kind of half-hearted shot. I could only suspect the ball might have bobbled just before it got to him. A wee bit dour at the moment. A little bit of activity in front of that English goalmouth would sort that out. Easily cut off by McLeish. Archibald. Oh, bit of a nutmeg there, and there's Souness. Battle royal there with Robson. Souness coming off best. Here's Malpas and Souness. On to Archibald. It's neatly down by Archibald, but Speedie wasn't giving support. Well, Steve Archibald has seen more of the play in these first 15 minutes, and he did in the entire game in Seville. Anderson. Hateley should be intercepted by Aitken, and is. Roy Aitken adding great strength to Scotland's midfield. This is his 12th cap for Scotland, Roy. Well, he has captained the under-21s as an overage player. So to Scotland. He's been quite right too. He's not playing after all. Oops. Well, I think McLeish wanted Malpas to get off his heels, as it were, and go forward for that. Here's Hoddle. Wilkins in the charge. Well, off balance, and it is significant that we haven't seen too much of Glenn Hoddle. I did make that point that he is a very artistic player, but also terribly temperamental. And if he doesn't get going early on, he can sometimes disappear from a match. Here's Malpas. Looking downfield for Speedie. Good jump there by Butcher. That's Speedie. Bett on the charge, and there's Anderson. Did get a touch, I think, and I think it will be a free kick for pushing by Jim Bett, the man from Locheren. I think I may have mentioned that Viv Anderson's only been in one losing English side, and that was to Scotland when John Robertson scored that famous penalty kick at Wembley. That's what Hateley's always capable of doing, that sudden electric header he can pierce defences with. Dashing down. Hasn't ceased. It's about 12 o'clock. Gough. Archibald. Hoddle. Delicate little on top of the foot kill of the ball. Well, I think the presence of Archibald just coming across the sight of the player put him off. Scotland's throw, and there's Souness. Oops, Bett ran away from it. The game seems to be going through a rather pedestrian phase at the moment, with 20 minutes gone, still no scoring. A little bit negative in midfield. Having said that, England have come to Hampden Park so often in the past and turned in what even the best supporters would call like lustre displays, and yet sneaked away and scored goals. Bett. Speedie. Anderson pushing from the back. Although Speedie wasn't giving him any peace at all. He is going to be a very useful player indeed. Souness. Aitken. Strachan. Rather out of the game, and that is a free kick, yes. Free kick to England. Sansom to take it. Big man up for it again. McLeish winning now. Strachan in a very good position and takes his eye off the ball. Wilkins. Archibald in the challenge. Strachan. He did well to get out of that. Willie Miller. Archibald, now Souness. Free kick. Neatest click of the heels. Now Bett from Souness. Just a little bit too clever by him. Now Strachan again finding it difficult to bring the ball down quickly, and is fouled nevertheless. Free kick as Wilkins brings down Strachan. Strachan wants a 1-2 and gets it almost. Now Bett. Anderson with him. Souness. Here's Strachan. Wanted to go to the outside. Fenwick with him, and that'll be a corner kick. We're halfway through this first half. The rather bedraggled picture of the defenders there from that low camera. An idea of the intensity of the rain. Now Strachan. Some pushing going on there, just touched away. Free kick. Yes, quite accidental, but Bryan Robson. There it goes. And as he went up for it, I just got the impression that Miller might have been pushed, but certainly Robson was fouled. Willie Miller. Scotland tackling with great determination. Here's Francis. Gough, excellent sliding tackle. Well, we've had a little enthusiasm worked up on the terraces after that, and that's very slightly given away by Bett. And once again, just saved by the goalkeeper, but good understanding. I think the surface made it more difficult than it would have been. Oh-ho. Now what has happened there is that there is a group of English supporters down at the bottom of the terracing, and I think the police have decided to get them out from the mass of Scottish supporters just behind them. I hope there's not going to be too much trouble about it. Strachan. No, certainly England's ball. We'll keep our eye on that. A big space has developed, and really the police ought to go in and make sure nothing is going to happen. Miller, Strachan again, caught in possession. Sansom going round, a very good run by Sansom, and there's Jim Leighton. He's under a bit of pressure there, Leighton. This man Hateley, look at the way he goes in. Oof. Tall, rugged player. Brought down by Aitken, forward he goes. Now Souness to Strachan. Aitken, and Aitken didn't make the run. It was a good ball, very intelligent move there by Souness. Ought to have been matched by the run forward by Aitken. Stringing the passes together confidently now. That's Butcher. Willie Miller put away by Bett. There's no call there. Souness, and again opens it out superbly, and Bett very slow taking off for that. Really Bett's fault that. Viv Anderson, he wanted something to come near him. Now Souness. McLeish, very deftly done. Gough. Strachan to Gough. To Souness. Oh, he's beginning to operate beautifully, Souness. Wasted ball, almost down to Speedie though. Excellent tackle by Souness. Now Aitken to Speedie. That's good football by Scotland as Willie Miller decides to pound forward. A good run by Miller. Drawn out of position though. Now Strachan. Strachan on the run. That's an excellent tackle. I thought it was a good tackle, but the referee didn't seem to think so. Glenn Hoddle, and it's a free kick. Only one man back for Scotland, that's Willie Miller. As Souness takes this, and Malpas tries forwards, and at least it's a shot at goal. Game hasn't really been noted for that, and this was Malpas. Obviously we'd like to see something more of that from the Scottish strikers. Malpas. Never the most attractive feature of the game, that kind of pass back. Well, there's still a bit of trouble. And a lot of provocative shouting, singing and brandishing of banners, etc. down there. And English supporters are being herded round the ground. Here's Malpas. Aitken goes for that. A bit of a misunderstanding between the two English defenders. Hateley. That was Wilkins to Anderson. Hoddle. Archibald very quickly and picked up by Souness. Beautiful reverse pass, Aitken. Tackling is getting fierce out there. It's a free kick to England. In actual fact, just off camera, I think the supporters are leaving the ground, away to the right. There's Leighton. Very slippery ball indeed, but away goes Strachan. Archibald, Strachan, Speedie, Gough it is, Souness, Strachan on the run, just getting there. Malpas, excellent one, just touched away. Scotland trying to put the screws on now. In goes Aitken. McLeish. Malpas, now Bett, and a free kick, and I think a booking for Malpas. Well, I don't know. Well, and whilst this goes on, there are the English supporters streaming out from the southeast corner at Hampden Park. I thought that was a trifle much. And big gaps have opened up on the terracing as the English supporters simply leave, heading for the exit. No free kick there. Here's Bett. Archibald to Souness. There's a run forward by Archibald. And I would suspect the English player got right in the way there as he slid down. He didn't go after Archibald, but he certainly prevented Archibald from getting near that ball. Was the sliding tackle. Whilst that was going on, I was giving my eye away down to the bottom right, where seems to be mayhem. The police trying to get the English supporters out of the ground. In fact, there's a battle there in the background. You can see it for yourself. McLeish. What a sad pattern it is in football that we almost yawn now at the sight of that. It's such a familiar sight. Maybe not here in Scotland, but certainly around the world, and certainly in some areas in England. Speedie. Souness. That should go right through. It's towards Archibald. Souness after it again. On there by Speedie, and that's a free kick. I think the referee would certainly stop the play. A butcher had fallen. 6'4" of him against 5'8" David Speedie. It's an unfair advantage. The wee man is brave. Anderson. Souness. Speedie. Well, I thought he was fouled, yes, he was appealing to the referee. Very late tackle. Shielding the ball well, And the close shepherding of Willie Miller, that was thorough professionalism there by Miller. Not lunging into the tackle, just shepherding him towards the line, working him into the error. Exactly 10 minutes of this first half remaining. This is really, in all honesty, degenerated into a very scrappy encounter now. Really, neither goalkeepers had a save worthy of the name. Hateley. Good tackle by Miller. Oh dear, I would have thought that was a foul. However, free kick given. Willie Miller playing in his 39th game for Scotland. He was 33 weeks ago, and he's never been fresher or fitter. Checking the time by Michel Vautrot. Well, Leighton should be up for it. Little bit slow though. As Butcher who had come forward and caused him that discomfort. He's a bit slow coming off his line. Can't turn it around, he does again this time, and there's a free kick, I think, yes. As once again Butcher tried to pressurise Jim Leighton. It did well, in fact, to get that one-handed save. Strachan, Archibald fighting for it. Yes, that's a free kick, and Archibald not at all happy with the way that was dug in. I thought he was throwing the yellow card away. I think both of them may be booked. That's 3 bookings now. I'm assuming that Wilkins was booked as well. He certainly booked Steve Archibald. There's a good run forward by Gough. Who just denied that last stride. Well, we haven't seen much of Francis apart from that shot earlier on, which just went angled past the post. Strachan, very quick tackle. Hateley unable to shake off that defence. Scottish defence has been excellent. Of course, with Willie Miller and McLeish playing so often with each other, this great positional understanding. Throw to Scotland. Just about 7 minutes of the first half remaining. Here's Strachan. David Speedie. Lacking service now, Speedie. He was found with some excellent passes earlier on. There's Strachan. Archibald tries to go through and well turned back by Terry Fenwick. Anderson. Here's Malpas. Trying to put it right round the defender. Well, Fenwick was certainly in 2 minds there. And McLeish, simply enough, he's really been the master in the air. Something displeasing Peter Shilton. Free kick. I think Willie Miller thought it was his. This is Hoddle. That's Wilkins. And now it was Barnes trying to go for it, and Richard Gough very wisely letting that go right over. Glad to see Richard Gough settling into this game. As I said earlier, he had a disturbed game, to say the least, in Seville because of an uncertain start, but he's looking confident today. Aitken, just beyond Speedie again. Cannot get into the game at the moment, David Speedie. The ball seems to just be eluding him at the last moment. Butcher. There's Gough. Free kick again, and very quickly taken. I think the ball was stationary. Roy Aitken, and it's a throw to England, I think. That's Sansom, as I said, the most capped ever Arsenal player. Francis turns on it, well, beautifully done by Aitken. Now, Scotland on the counter-attack. Archibald, free kick, most certainly, and that really was a pity, because if that had been laid to the side again, there was a big gap as a result of Anderson going in for the tackle. So the free kick does not really benefit Scotland. And it goes to McLeish. On towards Speedie. Now Bett. Tries for the cross. Aitken was in for it, Gough as well. Speedie tries to get in there. It's all so loose at the moment. There's the shot by Aitken. Well, he had to have a go. Good old balance, and the ball spinning away viciously. The speed of Hoddle, Malpas in on him and holding him, yes, free kick. What would you believe, free kick to Scotland. Ooh, that skidded through viciously. Gough. Here's Souness. No, disappointed in that one. Trying to find Speedie again. There's McLeish, easily taken up. Now Souness. Now Strachan. Chandler's wee man showed his authority in the game. That's a shot by Bett. And was there a touch? Scottish players apparently think so. Now watch the way Bett took this. Just bring it down and then quickly seeing his opportunity. And that skidded, and I think it was going away all the time, and there certainly was no touch. Francis brought that down brilliantly. Hateley can't get there, and that was almost suicidal play by the Scottish defence. Quite unnecessary. Bett. Here's Aitken. Strachan. Speedie. Free kick. Oh, he has taken some punishment today, Speedie. And we've just about a minute 15 seconds to go to the half-time whistle. This would be a vital stage to get a goal. There's Steve Archibald. Can't do the turn. Aitken. And offside. Must have been narrow. That was a very good position for Scotland, and I think the hesitancy of Aitken may have foiled it in the first place. Seemed suddenly to get shot shy. And we're into the last minute of this first half. McLeish. What a superb afternoon he's had in the air. Here's Anderson, and this will go all the way back. Well, eventually it did. Souness brilliantly. Bett, Speedie, too much in that. Again, he seemed to lose his buffets, and that's a free kick. Oh, dear, dear. Now, David Speedie said that disciplinary problems. He's been suspended 3 times significantly in his career. Not just from cautions, but also having been sent off. Likes to mix it. Aitken. Francis dragging the defence away wide. And Gough, as I said about him, playing with a great deal of maturity this afternoon. And there goes the half-time whistle. There's no scoring at Hampden as the players troop off, rain-drenched. Johnston not looking too perturbed about the situation at the moment. In fact, I thought Scotland's defence in particular has played rather well. And there's no question at all that Scotland are establishing a pattern for Iceland. We cannot see this game as a one-off. They are preparing for the more important game in the World Cup. And you can see the value of having Aitken play as he has played, just in front of the defence and charging forward. Speedie has always looked alert, especially in the earlier stages of the game. But I think a pattern that's looking solid without looking overtly exciting. And I think Scotland playing like this against Iceland will have to snatch a goal more than anything else. Well, the Scottish supporters have played their part as usual. And I wonder just what a panel thinks. Well, the score at the moment is nothing each, as I say. There will be penalties at the end of this match. If nothing each is still the score. Let's see what the panel thinks.
Well, I reckon the ball must be red hot, fast, furious, bookings, all sorts of things. Not, I don't think, like Spanish football, Terry, really, is it, at the moment?
No, he sticks out. There especially was a 10-minute period where Souness took over and really just stroked it. And he's the only player that looks comfortable on the ball. And we have those players, Wilkins and Hoddle, are capable, but the Scots are quick into him, and there's no interchange of positions. I think that you get the feeling that Francis, if he can get hold of the ball, he's going to be dangerous. But he's got to tempt those defenders out of their central positions. Jimmy made the point earlier that they're playing very central, which suits those two. They stick together, they're experienced, and they're good central defenders. And I think that Hateley's control looks good, except he's collecting things well on his chest, but on his feet, it's breaking down off him a little.
You mentioned Trevor Francis, you mentioned it early on, and he showed exactly what you are talking about, Terry, early on here, didn't he? Lovely control, putting his foot on it. He
wants it today. He really wants to show that he can do it in this sort of arena, and he's just not getting enough of it.
Definitely a shot, you reckon?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. He's hit it, and he's hit it the right side, because if he misses it, there's somebody going to come in and help it in on the far end.
Bobby, do you think it's always been as frantic? I mean, you played in so many games up here. Do you think it's got quicker? Do you think it's got more of a warfare?
Yeah, frantic's the right word that you've used. The ball's like a bar of soap, and there's only the really skillful players that are able to control the ball and manage it. And like Terry says, the person that did stand out in the first half was Graeme Souness, who, whenever he got the ball, always seemed to have that little bit of extra time because he controlled it quicker. He played everything on the floor. I felt that the game went from to to fro, you know, first England had it, then Scotland had it, and the ball seemed to, every team seemed to lose possession almost instantly, you know, because the ball was so bad. But I think that Scotland, for that first period, showed a little bit more, actually, you know, a little bit more aggression, a little bit more forward thinking.
One of the real exciting moments came when Stevie Archibald, Terry's player at Barcelona, got put through, and Terry Butcher showed really what an underrated player he is, Bobby, here, I think.
Yes. Well, Terry Butcher has always been sort of mentioned as though he was a bit lethargic and a little bit slow.
Because of his size.
But certainly in this case, you know, he used his pace well, and it was a very, very dangerous situation. And that little touch really was a little bit of class. It was just enough to stop him from going through, yes.
What about your man?
I think he is very underrated, Butcher.
Yes.
He's a little uneasy on the eye, looks a little bit ungainly, but that's wrong. He's fast, he's a great competitor, and I think that he's far better than we even give him credit for. And in that situation, Steve would have done a lot better against many defenders there.
I was going to say to you, what about your man, Steve Archibald? It's your top goal scorer, isn't he, at Barcelona this season?
Yes, he scored 22 goals in Cup and the League, and he's done very well. But he's very unselfish. He doesn't want to keep the ball. This is another thing where Souness he's prepared to go and get it off him because he knows he plays simple. The only thing is, Speedie and Archibald, I feel, are a little bit the same. They both play quickly, and they're scattering around. It's like you just feel if Kenny Dalglish was in there, just controlling that little ball and then reacting off of him, we would have a few more problems. This suits the two England central defenders. They don't want to fight.
Jimmy Hill said he was quite impressed by Jim Bett, the lad who was at Loughran, but I think he's on his way to Aberdeen. He came quite close, very close to very near to half-time.
A ball played through now by Gordon Strachan, yes.
He kills it very well. He's got a great first touch here, but let's be fair, the shot's about 6 yards wide, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's quite well wide. So, at this moment, if you're in that dressing room, you've really put your finger on it, the two of you. You said that Graeme Souness was the star early on, and now it's up to people like Ray Wilkins, who has that experience, Glenn Hoddle, who has the skill, to cool it, to get the game slowed down a little bit.
Well, I think that as they get a little bit more tight, the space will get a bit greater, and we might see that. But I think we've got to try and get the Scottish fullbacks a bit forward, so our strikers can take the central defenders a bit wider, and get Robson going through the middle there, because we've got to split those defenders.
A lot's been said, Bobby, about Bryan Robson and the fact that he's had injury leading up to the cup final. He didn't have too good a cup final, didn't have a good game in Finland. He's not exactly, I mean, he's involved in the battle today, isn't he?
Yes, and I think that they were looking for the battle, really. They were trying to win the ascendancy in the middle of the field. Wilkins and Robson were trying to sort out Souness, you know. But actually Graeme Souness won it, I felt. But there again, we're going to the second half, and you were saying, what would Bobby Robson maybe be saying to them? I would hope that he was saying to them, you know, let's be a little bit more tidy from out of the back. Because when you're talking about class international players just getting the ball as far forward as they possibly can, you know, with no real intent in the passing, I think that we've got to build it up a lot more predictably. We've got to do it a lot more positively. We've got to do it quickly. We've got to do it on the floor if we possibly can. Because that way it is tidier, it's easier to build up, it's easier to support players. And that's why we keep losing possession, I think, because too much has gone into the air. And especially coming off a surface like this, it's very, very, very difficult for forward players to bring the ball under control.
Right, we're on course at this moment for a penalty shootout, 0-0 here at Hampden. Let's go outside and enjoy the sound of the pipes, the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association.
Well, came back to us very quickly there, had finished the sausage roll and the half-time cup of tea. Like they presented by the producer beside me. And as I said, the supporters out there, they can do with a cup of tea now. I think they're getting a bit damped. That is always a splendid sight, isn't it? For those of you interested in these sort of things, the half-time statistics, as judged by our statistician, that Scotland had 5 goal attempts, all off target. England had 4, 2 saved, 2 off target. Scotland have had 1 corner kick, England have not. They've committed 17 fouls to England's 15. And there have been 2 offsides against Scotland and none for England. It is a situation that, of course, is bedibbled by what happened during the week with Everton, thus taking away from Scotland Andy Gray and Graham Sharp, who most certainly would have played in this game. But the game that is in the minds of most people looking ahead to Mexico is Reykjavik. Jock Stein himself this week said, I'm not really thinking about Wales, I'm thinking of this one, because If Scotland failed to pick up 2 points there, then the chances of qualifying for Mexico would become a bit more difficult. The Fight Band Society providing the music this afternoon. Scottish subs have been out. That was a quick shot there of Paul McStay, and I would imagine that there'll be 2 from 5 for this particular game, and I would imagine there will be substitutions. It'll be interesting to see which they are. Good to see Murdo MacLeod of Celtic getting his chance. He's a very good club player, capable of some great touches in the match. Of course, he has a marvellous shot. England are going on a very attractive tour, going to Mexico to play 3 games there: Mexico, Italy and West Germany, then going on to California, to Los Angeles. I suspect had Scotland won the last 2 internationals of the World Cup that they would have toured as well, but it just wasn't on. The guarantees of Mexico, or an attendance in Mexico, just not as certain as we thought they might be. Well, it was interesting to hear what Terry Venables and Bobby Charlton were saying about the game. That interesting point he made in particular about the likeness of David Speedie and Steve Archibald, but one superimposing one style on the other to a certain extent. I'll say Speedie fell out of the game rather badly. The other Scottish players seemed to lose contact with him in the latter part of that first half. I can tell you too that any possible trouble has been sent outside the ground, as it were. All the English supporters have now gone. No sign of them anywhere. I'm not, I hasten to add, saying that they were causing the trouble, but I do believe that they have been put out of the ground just in case it was going to flare up worse. There was a little bit of aggro and a bit of fighting, but then the police stepped in, I think very wisely, deciding that enough was enough. And as usual, on an occasion like this, the Scottish supporters have come from all over the world to see this game. It still holds that fascination for them. Although I hasten to look at that poor girl. She's still got a smile on her face. A Busby with a wet on top. I dare say that the Scotland-England international series will never come to an end in that sense, but I really do believe from listening to other people that the game will not be played on a Saturday again. It will be a midweek fixture. Well, there's a racing result for you. At the Curragh, Irish 1,000 guineas. First, number 2, Albatatri, 71. Second, number 15, Vilakaya. And then number 3, Thompson. This game is going live, by the way, to South Africa and to Canada. But I did mention earlier that Richard Gough's father had come across to see his son play, very proud of him. It's very interesting to note that Richard Gough went to the same university, Wits University, as the England substitute goalkeeper Gary Bailey. Both parents are still living, both sets of parents are still living in South Africa. I don't think the health people would like to see that shot. Just look at that. That's commendable loyalty to football, isn't it? Standing out in that. Out comes Scotland. There will be no changes to start off with, anyway. Roy Aitken with that determined look in his face. Just looking at these English numbers as they come out, and there are no changes there either. Certainly has been tricky. The Hampden Park a fortnight ago, when we were out here filming for a documentary, was very hard and bumpy and fast. And although it is difficult today, I actually prefer these conditions to the ones I saw a fortnight ago. Jim Bett, highly thought of by the Scotland assistant manager, of course. Rather teammates from Italy. A pair of them never seem to be without a tan nowadays. Willie Miller. What a man that is. Backbone of Aberdeen, and so important to Scotland as well. The feet of Mark Hateley, who played here at Hampden Park, by the way, in an under-21 game and was sent off. Second half underway. Hoisted very high there by Shilton. Now Anderson. Hateley to the side. Now Hoddle. Towards Leighton, he didn't like that one. Strachan, looked like hands. It might have been a hand used, but it's a throw. Richard Gough, who I think pinched a few yards. Speedie fouled, yes. Sansom charging in from the back. You just think of the back to the fee that Arsenal paid for this man, Sansom. £1,350,000. It was incredible. He's a good player, but dear, dear. Only Terry Wogan's worth that. This is Hateley. Swept away by Malpas. Brought down by Robson. There's Hateley laying it off the chest, and England are opening this half aggressively. Waddle. Bett. Not quite there. Hoddle. No, too much. Well, they've decided to have a right go at Scotland in these opening minutes. 2 minutes gone. A bit more aggression about their style. Wild one by Leighton. Oh, superbly well taken by Strachan. No, he hasn't opened out, Strachan, today. Been hemmed in. Here's Gough. Speedie, total misjudgment that time. Viv Anderson. Waddle. Wilkins. Oh, Souness catches him well. Now Archibald. Bett on the run. He is Bett and is just beyond them. Total misjudgment there by Steve Archibald. It looked very promising indeed. Robson. That's Hoddle. There's a run through the middle by Francis, and that is excellent goalkeeping. Great run forward, though, by Francis. Archibald can't quite get it. Sansom. There he is again. Ooh, just beyond Souness, he took his eye off it. Here's Hoddle. Anderson. picked up by Bett, and now Malpas to Speedie. He does well to get around his man. Great break by Speedie. Can't quite get it through. Good defensive work by England. They tightened up well. That was a real chance. Willie Miller, safe as ever, very secure. Well, this is the kind of game in these conditions that might hinge, the outcome of, might hinge on an elementary mistake. Easily picked up by Gough. Souness didn't quite get it. Here's Malpas. Tried to go to the outside and just trundles it over. Just lacked imagination, that move. Malpas again. Grabs it forward. There was offside. There's a flag raised underneath us, but the referee ignored it. Wilkins to Hoddle. Hateley has to let it go wide to get any control. A nice time there by Barnes, and that's a swing across. Wrongly angled, though. He's always going to curl away from goal, but that was another moment of danger. England have opened out slightly more than they did in the first half. Forced into that one, the inevitable. Malpas. Up goes Speedie. Got that very well indeed. Strachan getting to the line. And that is a goal kick. A little bit unfortunate. The referee was right on the spot. Good run by Strachan, who's departed from the right wing, trying to be a little more flexible. Almost a mishap. There's Speedie again. Again, that slight misjudgment by Aitken. To Souness. Free kick that time, yes. Free kick to Scotland. Souness, by the way, is relishing this game. He was picked up by the Bobby Charlton Invenables, having had an excellent game, and that will be retaken, by the way. His control, his vision, and certainly much more time to play around with the ball than the Welsh allowed him. Here's McLeish. No, never make it. Gough just gets there. Souness. Here's Malpas. Oh, too often he's been caught passing like that. Aitken. Oh, he does very well indeed. Aitken driving forward. Here's Speedie. Here's Aitken. Oh, it was a great move. One of the best moves of the match, certainly from a Scottish point of view. Brilliantly done by Aitken and Speedie. Ooh, it almost got there in the way. Goes Anderson, and he's dangerous on the break. Aitken is with them. And that will be a booking. Yes, it was almost inevitable that that was going to happen. Is it a warning? It's a warning. And he's guy lucky, I'll tell you. And he decided it was the only way out as the danger increased. There you are right down the full length of Hampden Park looking at it. Hoddle, I think, to take it, yes, and Francis. You want to try and get to the outside. McLeish goes with him, and it's a corner. By Gough. By McLeish. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hoddle. Willie Miller. Oh. Robson. Well, Scotland would not have deserved to have lost a goal on that basis. That was a very unlucky rebound that gave England that opportunity. Miller just slightly wrong-footed by it, and Robson, ball just getting too high as he went for it. There's Aitken, Speedie, but no run forward by Strachan. You could see Strachan indicating to Steve Archibald to cover the goalkeeper, forcing Sansom into that. Souness. Comes Miller. Aitken. Strachan. To me as if he was being pulled, but there's Willie Miller. Well, he didn't do that one well. That's an excellent pass there. Now Francis, England breaking quickly. Down goes Anderson. That run forward by Anderson. There he is on the outside. It's a dangerous looking ball, and that's just touched away. Oh. That really stretched Scotland that time. Good run there by Anderson. And there's the header down by Barnes, just drifting away. Well, this second half has contained more incidents in the first 11 minutes or so than I think we got in the entire first half. Archibald. Yes, Souness. Malpas. Just got away with it and gets a throw. Reluctant to get rid of the ball there. Speedie controlled it well. Bett, no. Much too near the line. Excellent game of Speedie is after this. Anderson. Speedie in hard. He doesn't let up, Speedie. Very useful player. English subs are warming up. Strachan should get that. He's a bit unfortunate in the slip. Sansom going in, and Gordon Strachan does that well, coming back, defending. Picked up by Aitken. Speedie. Now Archibald. Decides to go a run on his own. Here's Speedie. Oh no, easily beaten that time. Robson. Oh, there's no time to play around with the ball this afternoon. Tackling has been fierce, and that is a very harassed pass by Souness. Quite surprising. Fenwick. Picked up by Hoddle. Away by Willie Miller, now Strachan. Miller charging forward with him. Speedie. Oh, he runs into difficulties. Ought to have been played the other way. Again towards Speedie. And back by Robson. Bryan Robson, 43rd cap for England today. He broke his collarbone in January, and some people say he's never really fully recovered his fitness. He disputes that, but I think the general view is he's not starting it on as well as he ought to. Miller, Aitken, Souness. Good understanding by Scotland in midfield. Yes, Strachan, now Bett. Oh no, too many defenders coming in, and they backtrack quickly, and Souness runs into trouble, just gets out of it and is offside. Just over 15 minutes of the second half gone. Well, a forlorn wail and chant from the terracing. So they're wanting the Scottish team to take pity on them for the conditions under which they're watching this game. Francis. Back to Sansom. Malpas is in, and the shot comes in from Francis. Taking that Tory ball. They've got a fight between the two of them. Totally unequal in size, but well, I see England are clamping down on Souness as quickly as they can now. Archibald, Speedie goes after that and swept away brilliantly there by Vautrot. Anderson, that's McLeish. Aitken couldn't quite get there. Here's Sansom. Leighton is after it. Oh, they can't turn it round, and the Scottish goalkeeper really committed himself there. Obviously with Francis lucking round about the penalty spot and coming in hard, if that had been knocked back, that would have been a certain goal. Well, this is a very interesting warm-up there by Chris Waddle, who's in the process of being transferred to Tottenham Hotspur. Waddle, a very talented player, about to come on. He is very left-sided, but for his side, really is excellent. And it's Barnes who's going off as Waddle comes on. Waddle, who is, as I said, his transfer is being considered at the moment, the fee by the tribunal which judges these things. Technically, an agreement has been reached. And he scored 16 goals for his club this season. It should be interesting. Obviously, Barnes has made no impact on the Scottish defence. This man might. Turning them all kinds of ways, and that's too much. And Robson, and does just more than anything else, hooking it away. There was far too much room there for Hoddle to turn and control that ball as he can do so well. Far too much latitude.
Archibald just took a touch. Again, Speedie went the wrong way. There were players breaking on the left. Good time by Archibald. Malpas is there as well. Souness tries to drift his way forward. There's no free kick. Robson, mild appeals that he may have handled that. Look at the speed of this man, Francis. What a timely tackle. That's what he's great at, Francis, of course, that acceleration. Strachan. Speedie, slow setting off for it. And no cover. Look at this, Waddle. Willie Miller with them. Well, that's a good-looking ball. Francis, and only back there to Roy Aitken, who drifts away with it. Good play by Aitken. This is one of his charges. Now Strachan. On to Speedie. Oh, he's been caught in possession too much. Oh, Alec Ferguson was incensed by Strachan there. It wasn't on camera, but came out of the dugout screaming at him. Here's Speedie. Strachan. Tackled. McLeish is into that as well. Hateley. This is Trevor Francis. Excellent square ball that. Oh, good tackling by Miller. Not a bad header out of defence like that. Straight to Hoddle. Throw to England. 21 minutes of the second half gone. Still no scoring. By Malpas, now Strachan, with a bit of room, up comes Gough. Only the two men up front, Speedie and Archibald. Strachan joins him. On to Speedie. Strachan can't quite get it. And Robson breaks it up. This is Waddle. Awkward ball to give Hateley. I think there had been a little concern there that Waddle had been fouled by the English. I'll go back to Leighton. Souness. Speedie. And I think late tackle, yes, free kick to Scotland. One to Gough. There's free kick. Impetuous one there by Kerry Sansom. There's Strachan. Operating there. Here's Richard Gough. It's wide and beautifully touched in now. Bett. Is the header going to be on? It is, it's there. Richard Gough has scored for Scotland. Oh, what a superb effort by the big Dundee United player. Look at that. Watch the way he came in. The ball from this angle seemed to drift agonizingly and slowly but inexorably in. So, 23 minutes gone and Scotland, with this much depleted side, are in the lead. And
English pride has been stung, and that is the free kick. Well, there you are. It's now very colourful. Up comes Anderson. Away by Gough. His father was watching this. Now Speedie, oh, is a bit unfortunate. Come all the way from South Africa and sees his son put Scotland in the lead. He's been a very proud man in the stand. Miller is after it. Miller wisely doing that. We're going to have another Scotty substitution. I think Strachan is coming off, and on comes Murdo MacLeod. Said earlier it would be nice to see him getting a run, and he's getting it. This is to add bite, even more bite to midfield. And watch the goal again. By doing that, look at that run by Gough. High quality run, matched by the header. Strachan is off, Murdo MacLeod is on. Drafted into the squad at the last minute, would you believe? That's life. Suddenly finds himself on a wet Saturday afternoon at Hampden Park, playing for his country. I'll tell you what, you'll get 150% from him. There's Souness, now Gough. There's a run forward by Speedie. Not the most confident header I've ever seen. Miller, right on top of it. Roy Aitken, and referee thought that was a free kick. 26 minutes gone of this second half. There's Alec Ferguson getting drenched in the rain and not minding it a bit, finding his little part as he does. Waddle. Murdo MacLeod flipping it away. Be glad of that first touch. Here's Archibald. Tries to go around the side. Doesn't quite get it. Fighting hard. That's a free kick, yes. Little doubt about that. And Alec Ferguson out again, trying to indicate something to somebody. Wilkins had an excellent game. Speedie beautifully run the side. Now Murdo MacLeod. Parted with it well, Malpas. Richard Gough's gone up again, and Scotland got the corner. Against MacLeod, would you believe? Ray Wilkins anxious to get on with it. Ball fought to let that go right over, and does. Archibald on towards Speedie, and what's been given, oh dear dear, that really is a very bad decision. Speedie was right through, Scotland got the free kick, and there's a disconsolate Graeme Souness. comes Murdo MacLeod. Bett. There's one by Bett. There it is! Oh, they love that thrust. Look at it. Weren't quite sure what he was going to do. Decides to go for the shot. Although I do think he hoped somebody would land at the other end of that, and he didn't. Souness. Richard Gough. It's a slack one. Cannot afford to be that. On towards Bett. Outside of the foot. Exactly 15 minutes remaining. 1-0 for Scotland. Free kick. Aitken. Gough. He thought they put a foot wrong, I may say, apart from scoring that goal. Stand there, and there was a deflection, and it all ends up with Jim Leighton. Which is winning in the air now, all right. Slack one. An equally bad ball there by Robson. By Hoddle, rather, it was. Look at the rain lashing down. Anyway, to press now. Aitken fought hard for that. Here's Souness. There's his shot. No great threat, though, to Shilton, in all honesty. Willie Miller behind it again. Murdo MacLeod. Taken well by Speedie. Pass in, and what's been given? Free kick's been given, in fact. Bit of consultation over Bobby Robson. We're having another substitution ever so shortly. Nice bit of understanding with the Scottish defence here. It looks as if Lineker is coming on. There he is. Just waiting the call. Gary Lineker of Leicester. Lineker came on at Hampden last year as well, would you believe? He's been the top scorer with Leicester for the last 4 seasons, 26 this season, so he can put him in the back of the net. Here's Francis. Wilkins. Oof. Well, that's a slippery ball to take. Very difficult indeed. Scotland must not, in watching an inspired save like this at the second effort, must not just lie back too much. I think that would be fatal. It looks as if it's Hoddle going to come off. A comes Murdo MacLeod. Speedie. Well, it was cleared, and there's Richard Gough and Aitken. Not a very effective clearance, but they got to it. Here's Bett. Oh, he's trying for the corner, I think. Hateley all the way through. Archibald fighting very well now. Souness to MacLeod. Speedie, will he take the defender on? Archibald goes after it. Souness. Bett tries to get there, and that's a very good header. I don't know whether that was a gesture of disgust or not, but look at the way he went up. Yes, he got his clean header to it. Maybe just going slightly past, but Shilton took no chances, and here is a substitution. Just under 10 minutes remaining. Off comes Hoddle, and on goes the striker. So, a gamble by England. Just heard, by the way, there have been 88 arrests in and around the ground. There's Lineker. And again. Robson, it's a good move by England. Malpas watches Francis very closely. Pains himself in the process. A little bit of winding, I think. And a corner to England. I think it'll be all right. There's the Johnston just tucked in there out of sight. Fergus has been doing most of the jumping up and down. And a couple of gentlemen being very optimistic and starting to leave the ground. Long, long way to go yet. Recovery there by Malpas, the corner to England. And the Scottish defence will have to concentrate deeply. The shot by Anderson, and he won it over again. Oh, that's great play. Willie Miller goes after it, fighting hard for everything. Aitken, oh, brilliant. That's a free kick. That was brilliant play by Sansom. He really saved England there. Anderson is way wide. Back to Wilkins. There's Roy Aitken. Oh, one of the games of his life Aitken's had today. Speedie. Oh, that was total misunderstanding. Speedie's tiring slightly. Look at Gough going in. Great athlete, Richard Gough. I mean, basically, he's the kind of chap who would be good at all sports, very strong. Aitken. Well, let me reiterate, I think Roy Aitken is having one of the finest games I've ever seen him play. I mean, I've seen him play a lot of very good games for Celtic, brilliant games for Celtic, a real influence, but today, in an entirely different setting, different kind of standard of football. He's played the most valuable part for Scotland. Leighton up and easily taken. And here's the break. Bett. Richard Gough is coming with them. There he is. Now Speedie. Well, that's MacLeod. He wanted it back again, and there was Archibald slipping again. Rain still lashing down. Oof. No question what was going to happen there. Francis, free kick. Yes, he completely deceived Malpas there. Another brilliant turn. Stein is looking across the pitch and he realises now there are only 5 minutes left. I don't know how you'll feel back at home, but here is going to be a very long 5 minutes indeed. There's a header down. A perfectly free header, and really Anderson ought to have done better with that. And there should be some questions asked in that Scottish defence about that. Now just watch this again. I mean, the laxity was... Oh. Really, they should have been punished there. Four and a half minutes. You may hear the odd whistle coming from the terracing. Malpas. Francis easily beaten that time. Murdo MacLeod on towards Speedie. Speedie with it now. There's Jim Bett and Richard Gough. Gough going forward. Here's Bett. He'll try the cross. Archibald. Murdo MacLeod. Souness. And England get a free kick and they're anxious to get on with it. Trevor Francis remake it now. About 3.5 minutes left. They're fighting hard, England. Lineker. Willie Miller though to Bett. Bett slow with it. Waddle straight to McLeish. Speedie goes in, and that is a throw to Scotland, yes. Wanting something to come towards him. Oh, bad one by Gough that time. Malpas. Francis. Murdo MacLeod with him, poised. And tackles it well, ball still in play though. It's a dangerous looking one again. Swept away by Gough. Scotland really under pressure and broken up. Souness. Here's Speedie. Well, that's a nice ball to Souness. Can he get it now? Oh, just too much. He was in a good position there, and we make it exactly 2 minutes left. 2 minutes between Scotland and victory and the Sir Stanley Rous Trophy. Countdown has begun, as it were. Looking danger again. Willie Miller breaks it up brilliantly. Gough. And that's all butcher, yes. Go to Scotland. 1.5 minutes left. Or 90 seconds if it makes it shorter. Archibald was looking for that. Speedie battling after it, looking slightly tired. Here's Wilkins. Now, 1 minute left, there may be injury time. Francis operating well on that right. Way by Roy Aitken. Miller is after it. Murdo MacLeod. And there's Miller out of harm's way. And I make it 45 seconds left. Scotland leading by 1-0. Here's Robson. Malpas. No, it's not all over. No. The whistle has gone for a free kick. It's not over yet. False alarm, and it's a free kick to England, and oh, it could not come under more dramatic circumstances. The watch clicking away. 15 seconds remaining as this is taken and headed away by McLeish. It was. Scotland under pressure again, and here's Speedie trying to go in for that. Sansom performing miracles, and here's Souness, cams it down, and that is away towards Butcher within injury time. It's a dangerous ball. Hateley tries to control it, and there's McLeish sliding in. We're now half a minute into injury time. And there it goes, the final whistle. Scotland have won the Sir Stanley Rous Trophy. The beginning of a new era of international football with the British Home Championships finished, and there is the man who will imprint his name on this game and this event, if not on the cup, for that gloriously headed goal. And if we are watching a rain-sodden scene, it will be, for the Scots, a memorable afternoon as Sir Stanley Rous comes out to present the cup to Graeme Souness. And I must say, Andy Walker and David Will are looking admirably, diplomatically restrained in the way they walked out. A bit of shirt swapping, the part of the ritual, and it's going to be a rather less formal presentation than usual. And the photographers, of course, as the delighted supporters wait for this ultimate act, the presentation of the cup. The supporters delighted. It's very unusual, of course, to have this. It's an innovation, as I said, an entirely new decade of football. Superb performance by individuals like Richard Gough, who will long be remembered, and Roy Aitken. So here is Graeme Souness, the Scottish captain, to receive the cup from Sir Stanley Rous. There it is, and he'll hold it up to the great delight of the supporters. One by one they'll come round. Well, there's going to be a bit of carousing tonight as the supporters stream out. Jim Bett, whose deep runs always bothered English, and now here is the goal scorer Richard Gough, and David Speedie making his debut in a winning Scottish side, and the supporters want more, so do the photographers, and up come the English team for their presentation. Maurice Johnson, one of the subs. Well, that goal that mattered came in the 64th minute of the game. There are the English players. They'll be feeling a bit put out by all of this. They fought hard, but in the space of a week, they've turned in performances really that will send critics raging into them, I suspect. And the Scottish team is on the centre line. There we are. They are the champs. You always feel a little tug when Scotland does it on a day like this, a little tug on the emotion. There's Sir Stanley Rous with Ernie Walker. A 90-year-old man looking very sprightly and always, of course, delighted to be involved in the match. Well, let's hear now what Bobby and Terry think.
Yeah, it was ironic because I felt McLeish had a tremendous game in stopping all routes for us. And then he finds himself out there wide left and a perfect cross. And of course, the right back, who I thought had a good game also, came in and met the centre very cleanly.
Yeah.
Over the back of Kenny Sansom.
Well, let's have a look at it straight away. And you mentioned Kenny Sansom, and there you are.
Yeah, he just crosses it here, and he gets caught flat. He don't know where the guy's coming from, and he just out jumps him. There's nothing we can do about it.
Kenny Sansom isn't exactly the biggest fella, is he, Bobby, really, on the far post there?
No, he's not. And also he's jumping from a standing start, whereas the lad Gough comes from a deep position into a run, so he's able to get very much higher than Kenny Sansom.
I said textbook, it's headed right back across
where it came from, yeah.
Across the Shilton to the far post. Right. I mean, that is, from your point of view, Terry, that's textbook.
Yeah, that's a good goal. In fact, Kenny Sansom himself in the first half got in a similar position, and he couldn't hit the same sort of quality crosses the lad did there in that particular time.
A little bit ironic that at the time England were really perhaps a little bit on top. I mean, there were a lot of comments being made about Glenn Hoddle at the time because he was going well.
There's no doubt about it. In my opinion, I think they sorted it out quite well at half-time. They got to Souness very quickly and snuffed him out. And Hoddle, I think he gave us 3 or 4 great passes, and he was the one for me that was going to unlock that defence if anyone was going to hit 1 or 2 lovely balls in there. The
trouble is, Bob, it's gone against England, so therefore it's gone against Glenn Hoddle, so...
Well, I think it's a shame that, because we were talking, Terry and I, and we're both of the opinion that he has got a skill that no one else in this country has. And like you said, he was the one that might have unlocked the defence, but nevertheless, he was taken off as soon as they were behind. I think that maybe someone down there thinks that once he's behind, he's not the type of player that you would maybe come out of the trenches with, but nevertheless, I thought it was a little unfortunate. But they had got everything together at the back. They were tight, they were marking, they were playing very tightly up from deep positions, and it really looked good, you know. And the goal came a little against the run of the play, which is a bit unfortunate. I think the Scots have won, but nevertheless, you know, it was quite an even contest. Right?
We've got the Scottish fans drifting away behind us, but I've got news of the 26 lads from Lothian who went to Wembley today in protest at the game being switched. They were in the car park there, but... you see, they've got a radio there. I'm actually told that they took with them a telly that actually required mains power to watch the game. Sounds a bit Irish to me, that. So there you are. You see no picture on there. They can't even enjoy Richard Gough's goal. I think they had to settle their radio. Oh, that's the moment. That's the moment. Have a good night out there, lads, in London. I'm sure they will, won't they?
I'm sure they will.
Bit of a token gesture, that, from them, whether the television's on or not, you know, because they shouldn't have needed to have gone down there to watch nothing, should they? They should have been... We should have been playing down there today.
Terry, can we just look quickly ahead to Scotland playing that vital game for them in their World Cup group in Iceland on Tuesday? Quite a boost.
It's a tremendous boost. I mean, there's no better boost they could have had. And now they've got to hope that their players come through tomorrow in the Everton game. And I think I think they'll win there.
Thanks very much, lads. Now we turn to racing, and Triptych was bidding for a unique Irish Guinness double at the Curragh today. After her win against the Colts in the 2000, she started favourite to follow up in this afternoon's 1,000 Guineas. Tony O'Hare takes up the commentary in the closing stages.
Side is Deauville Lady as they race towards the 3 marker now, and that's Alba Hatry in the lead from Triptych coming into second, and they're followed on the outer by Top Socialite and Defena. Behind these is Villakaya, then Abarushka, and behind Abarushka comes Stella Grant racing towards the 2 furlong marker. Alba Hatry from Triptych on the outside in the green colours, Defena with Top Socialite, Villakaya with the white face towards the far side inside the last quarter mile now, and Alba Hatry, Top Socialite on the near side, Villakaya between them, then Defena. Triptych is dropped back 5th. They're clear of Deauville Lady as they race down towards the furlong marker now. Villakaya in the centre on the far side, Alba Hatry on the near side, Top Socialite, and they're clear of Defena inside the last half furlong. Villakaya for France on the near side, Top Socialite for England, and Alba Hatry on the far side as they race up towards the finish. Alba Hatry on the inside. Alba Hatry leads as they go to the line. Alba Hatry wins it for England from Villakaya for France. Top Socialite is 3rd and 4th Defena. 5 is Triptych, and behind Triptych is Deauville Lady.
Now the winner, number 2, Alba Hatry, 7-1. Second, number 15, Villikaya, 7-2. And third, number 13, Top Socialite, 10-1. Now an update on today's other results.
Starting with the meeting at Haydock, the 3 o'clock, won by number 4, Valuable Witness, 2-1 on favourite. Second, number 8, Stands Pride, 6-1. Third, number 2, Harley, also 6-1. 3:30, first, number 22, Miss Apex, 8-1. Second, number 1, Bucks Bolt, 6-1. Third, number 14, TP Gold, 3-1. 4 o'clock, first, number 5, Hill's Bid, 11-8 on favourite. Second, number 3, Code of Conduct, 11-1. Third, number 1, Capistrano Climax, 9-2. Lingfield, the 2:15, first, number 9, Stalker, 13-2. Second, number 1, Belldale Star, 15-8. Third, number 6, Mummy's Secret, 5-4 favourite. 2:45, first, number 12, Fancy Pages, 9-1. Second, number 3, Diamond Sky, 5-2 favourite. Third, number 2, Delboy, 12-1. 3:15, first, number 2, Little Deepwater, 5-4 on favourite. Second, number 4, Exchange Control, 11-2. Third, number 6, Miss Never Hide, 20-1. 3:45, first, number 3, Falklands Ruler, 7-2 joint favourite. Second, number 17, Tom Forrester, 11-2. Third, number 8, Corypheus, 7-2 joint favourite. 4:15, first, number 5, Alamede, 7-4 favourite. Second, number 8, Chandler's Style, 4-1. Third, number 14, Fei Lung, 6-1. Doncaster, 1:30, first, number 8, Misha, 3-1. Second, number 14, Monticelli, 5-2. Third, number 3, Winter Words, 7-1. The 2 o'clock, first, number 3, Maldoror, 3-1 on favourite. Second, number 7, Bucklow Hill, 16-1. Third, number 1, Russian Noble, 6-1. 2:30, first, number 8, Dawn's Delight, 11-1. Second, number 18, Bollin Emily, 13-2. Third, number 20, Numismatist, 20-1. 3 o'clock, Rainbow Ripple, 2-1 favourite. The Crying Game, 10-1. Hoborns, 16-1. 3:30, Grand Pavois, 7-4 on favourite. Chicklet, 9-2. Corridor Key, 4-1. And the 4 o'clock, Water Key, 6-5 on favourite. Try Harder, 12-1. Hallgate, 20-1.
Well, that's all the racing news. Let's now find out what cricket there has been up and down the country with the cricket scoreboard.
And Australians against Derbyshire. After a delayed start at Bristol, Somerset's Julian Wyatt and Nigel Popplewell, the Australians made good progress after a delayed start at Derby. Opener Andrew Hilditch returned to form with an impressive 60 before he was caught off Jeff Miller. And skipper Alan Border is going well again in a third wicket stand with Dirk Wellham. Britannic Assurance, Somerset against Gloucester. Somerset 132 for 3 and 41. Glamorgan 197 all out in 64.2 overs. Yorkshire 135 for 5 and 58 overs against Lancashire. Leicestershire at home 217 for 4 in 81 overs against Northants. And Sussex and Middlesex. Sussex 132 all out in 42 overs. Middlesex replying 100 for 2 and 27. Essex 223 for 5 and 75 overs against Surrey. And Warwickshire 196 for 5 and 81 overs against Worcestershire.
It's amazing how quickly the ground here at Hampden has emptied. It seems only a few minutes ago that Richard Gough's header gave Scotland the victory that they're wanting, because of course it makes it 40 all in the Old Firm game. Let's now look back at the highlights of the match.
Hateley coming off his man. Mobility is something that he's been asked to work on. Here's Wilkins. And Francis. Nice turn by Francis. Halfway through the first half. McLeish has gone, marked by Hateley, into the 6-yard box. Difficult back for Shilton, and Aitken couldn't quite reach it, and neither could Miller. They were both at the far post. This is Souness. Well, and here's Archibald. And Butcher made a fine saving interception there. Souness. Here's Strachan. And now Bett in a good position. Hoddle finds Robson. Francis is just inside, making a run now. And Hoddle saw him. Well collected by Jim Leighton. And Hoddle again, a telling little pass to Wilkins. This is Francis. Anderson has pushed on well here. Wasn't quite sure when the ball was coming, but he's got it now. Three waiting in the centre. Barnes! McLeish has gone into the penalty area. Miller has hung back. Souness. This is Strachan. And it's Gough. And it was turned on again by McLeish. Here's Jim Bett. And Gough! A goal! Minutes gone and Scotland take the lead.
Well, that's all about today. Let's take a couple of moments out to look forward to next Wednesday. A tremendous night in prospect there because it's Juventus against Liverpool. Terry?
Well, I've always been against betting against Liverpool because I think they've been the best club side in the world for a long time. But they've had a few problems this year. And I've got a feeling that Juventus just might nick it.
Bobby, what are your views on that? I mean, Terry mentioned about Liverpool in Europe, and it's 4 out of 4. Yeah. Juventus have been bad travellers, haven't they?
Yes, the Liverpool of this year hasn't really been the one of the past as far as the people are concerned. They've been watching on television because they've missed the class players like Souness, Kenny Dalglish out of the team for a while. But nevertheless, they are such a very, very well-knit unit, Liverpool, yes. You know, that in any sort of situation I would fancy them. I certainly wouldn't discount them, but nevertheless a hard game against Juventus, I think.
Well, it's a game that everyone can enjoy exclusive on BBC television, and it starts there at 7:05 on Wednesday evening, live from Brussels. And also, I think the one real problem for Liverpool, as I see it, Michel Platini. Just a little word about him.
Well, I think that he's a problem for anybody. I think the contrast on the two teams are going to be interesting in as much as the team play and the formation of Liverpool and the individual flair and ability of Platini and Boniek and possibly Rossi if he plays. So that individual flair, as opposed to the teamwork, I think will be a good comparison to look at.
Platini, you've always been an admirer of, Bobby.
I have, really, yes. And I think that the Italians are so incensed with the competition against the Brits, you know, that they really don't like to judge themselves unless they're winners. They won the World Cup and they want to prove that they are the best club side as well, and I think that they'll put a lot into it next week.
Thanks very much, lads. Lovely to see you and see you looking so well. Thank you, Terry. It's been an eventful day here in Scotland always. Desi Lynham, get well soon. Have a good holiday. That means I'll be with you all again tomorrow on Sunday Grandstand. We have the John Player Cricket and we have the PGA Golf from Wentworth. Meanwhile, here at Hampden today, it has belonged to Scotland. You know, when we started, it was 40 games to England. It was 39 to Scotland. It looked, perhaps, as if it was going to be a draw, although there'd been a penalty shootout, but then up popped Richard Gough. Goodbye from Hampden.